The date is May 7th, 2002, and Allen Iverson is about to unleash one of the most infamous rants in sports history. You see, 4 days earlier, the Sixers were just eliminated by the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. A brutal ending for a team that was literally in the finals a year prior. Coach Larry Brown was specifically disappointed in his franchise player Allen Iverson, who after being on his best behavior for the finals run, was slipping back to his old habits. Post-game, Brown would say,
"The key player got to be there. He's got to be practicing."
Thus, when Iverson was asked about this exact quote 4 days later, all hell would break loose.
So you and Coach Brown then settled the issue that he brought up on Saturday about practicing?
But to understand Iverson's most infamous incident regarding practice, we must go back to his first documented practice incident, all the way back to December 1992. On December 12, 1992, junior year Allen Iverson will find himself in a snowy football field in Lynchburg, Virginia. The occasion? The state championship game was the following day. You see, football, not basketball, was Iverson's first love.
First time my mom wanted me to play basketball, I cried all the way out the door. I said I didn't want to play basketball. I felt basketball was soft.
And up until this very moment, many considered him a better football player than basketball player. But the icy field was too much for Iverson. He refused to practice, sparking a heated debate with his coach that led to a suspension from the championship game. Iverson's teammates, however, rallied behind him, pleading with Coach Koss to let Allen play. Cooler heads prevailed, Iverson took the field, and just like that, he led Bethel High to a state championship.
Iverson will take it on the one hop, trying to get a block on the sideline. He does. He may go. He will.
Post-game, Iverson will make a bold claim.
What do you got to say as a junior to come and win a state championship? It's got to feel pretty good.
He's going to go get one in basketball now, that's all.
Okay, congratulations.
In the basketball season, Iverson would again clash with the coaching staff.
And he had words with the coaching staff.
But again, he would deliver, leading Bethel High to another state championship. With this success, Iverson would be named the AP Player of the Year for both basketball and football. He was the best athlete in the country, doing it all at only 6 feet tall. But little did he know that this would be the last high school sporting event he would ever participate in. Before we get to that, a quick word from today's sponsor. Now, a quick word from friend of the show and today's sponsor, Kalshi. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States. You can actually trade on the outcome of real-world events, including football, basketball, and thousands of other events. Trade on your favorite players or teams anytime, anywhere, legally in the US and all 50 states, including California and Texas, and also more than 140 other countries. It's a smarter way to use your sports knowledge, actual event trading, where prices move with news, injuries, trade, performance, and public opinion. And what's cool is that you could always cash out early. Download the Kalshi app using the link in the description below and use my code WooHoops when you sign up to get a free $20 when you trade $100. Again, use the link in the description and use my code WooHoops to get started today. Thank you, Kalshi. Now, back to the video. For Iverson, he had come a long way. Growing up in Newport News, Virginia, the odds were stacked against him from day one.
I think the projects is like probably the funnest place you can grow up at. You know, I played a lot of pickup basketball games, all kinds of stuff.
But because of his mother, Iverson would always carry with him unwavering self-belief.
My mom told me one day that I could be anything that I wanted to be. And I literally took that for what it was.
In return, Iverson would also make his mother a promise.
He said, "Mom, I'm gonna get you a candy apple red Jaguar. That's my dream car." And he said, I'm gonna have a house better than Michael Jordan's mama house. And I believe that.
Growing up, Iverson would develop a close group of friends, none closer than Rashawn Langford. Like Iverson, Langford dreamed of becoming something more, with the same goal, to make it out of Newport News. Together, Iverson and his group of friends would make a pact. If one of them were to make it out, they would take the entire group with them. Now, having just won the state championship in basketball after winning the state championship in football, it was clear that Iverson had a clear path in achieving his ultimate goal, with nearly every university in the country recruiting him for both sports. His only concern? To choose either football or basketball.
I'm excited about that because I think we can do it again, all over again, in football and basketball.
Oblivious to Iverson was the fact that his life was about to change forever. Weeks earlier, on Valentine's Day of 1993, Iverson and his friends were involved in a bowling alley brawl that resulted in chairs being thrown. According to Iverson, a white man by the name of Stephen Forrest would call him the N-word, triggering a melee between Iverson's group and Forrest's. Iverson and his group would claim that Allen wasn't directly involved in the fight and was escorted out the premises once it got out of hand. Meanwhile, two bowling alley employee witnesses would claim that Iverson was directly responsible for throwing a chair that would concuss a woman by the name of Barbara Steele. Despite the he said she said nature of this case, here are some undisputed facts. 4 people were arrested for this brawl, all black, including Iverson. They will be charged with maiming by mob, a statute that was invented during the Jim Crow era to protect black people from lynching.
Although a juvenile at the time, Iverson was tried as an adult.
And for his alleged role in the brawl, Iverson will be sentenced
15 years in prison, 10 of them suspended.
All universities will pull their offers, and for the foreseeable future, Allen Iverson will spend his time behind bars. Left without a future, Iverson's mother would take matters into her own hands, taking a drive up to Georgetown University to plead for a lifeline in case her son ever made it out of prison. At the exact same time in the NBA, Larry Brown was just hired as the newest coach of the Indiana Pacers. But before Brown became a coach, he was also a highly respected player, a 5'9" guard who captured the heart of the suburbs.
Larry was a god as an athlete, so you dress like him, so you stand like him, so you try to talk like him.
As a player, he is most well known for being directly involved in the infamous 1961 NCAA brawl that would ignite the rivalry between UNC and Duke.
It was at the end of the game, and he kind of tackled me when, I didn't think that was justified.
For his role in the brawl, he would be suspended for an entire season. As a professional, Larry Brown would play in the ABA, named a 3-time All-Star, even winning the All-Star Game MVP in 1968. As a coach, Brown was known for his meticulous attention to detail and practice.
I grew up with Larry, I coached with Larry, and the key thing is trying to bring 5 guys to play like one.
And also being a habitual team hopper.
In a sense, all of human existence is equally divisible into 2 parts. Those times when Larry Brown is about to quit his old job and those times when Larry Brown is about to take his new job.
Before taking the job with Indiana, he had spent the previous 2 seasons with the Clippers overachieving by leading them to back-to-back playoff appearances, the winningest seasons since their days in Buffalo. But they would fall in the first round both years. Brown eventually realized the team had reached its ceiling. With the Pacers, Larry Brown's coaching style will be questioned by the players.
You always hear him say, play the right way. During it, you couldn't stand him. We all couldn't stand him. But in a sense, it was bringing us closer together as a team.
But the results spoke for themselves. He immediately led the Pacers to their first ever playoff series win, taking them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks, where they would lose in 7 games. The following playoffs, the Pacers again reached the conference finals, this time defeating the Knicks along the way, only to fall short once more. For Brown, it was clear. Like the Clippers before them, the Pacers had reached their potential. The ceiling was the conference finals. In April of 1997, Brown resigned, taking a new job as the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, tasked with coaching the league's newest and most divisive superstar. After arriving at Georgetown University, Ann Iverson would beg Coach John Thompson to give her son Allen an opportunity to play for the school upon a potential release.
And I just broke down. I said, if you don't take him, somebody gonna hurt him because he live in an environment that is not good. And he hugged me. And he said, I got you, baby girl. If he get out of jail, I'll take him.
Despite being in the wrong place at the wrong time that led Iverson to his arrest, he was in the right place at the right time for his release. Virginia at the time had its first and only black governor, Douglas Wilder, who by December of 1993 was in his final month in office. With pressure mounting from civil rights groups and national attention brought by Tom Brokaw, after Iverson had spent 4 months in prison, Governor Wilder would grant him clemency.
Allen Iverson, one of the top high school athletes in the country who had been serving a 5-year jail term for 3 felony convictions, was released today. Virginia Governor Douglas Wilder granted conditional clemency to the 18-year-old Iverson.
He was not allowed to play sports, but he could finish his high school education with a tutor.
This diploma is the culmination of all your hard work and all your hard effort.
After all the things that happened to me, now I get my second chance. I wanted to prove to myself, man, that I could do this, get this done.
Afterward, Iverson would attend Georgetown and play for the Hoyas under coach John Thompson. During this tenure, Thompson would shield Iverson from the media and let him focus on basketball.
But I think Coach Thompson did a great job of keeping those people away from me. And he did a good job making sure that when they did talk to me, it wasn't about those type of things.
And focus on basketball he did, as after 2 stellar seasons, Iverson would become the first player in Georgetown history to leave school early to declare for the NBA draft.
With the first pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Allen Iverson from Georgetown University.
In the NBA, despite being the #1 overall pick, he was an instant outcast, criticized by the media and veteran players alike, showcasing an image that they deemed problematic.
And I remember the 97 All-Star game in Cleveland. That's the year the NBA was celebrating its 50 greatest players. And all the great players had gathered there. But a lot of it was those guys talking about Iverson and how bad he was for the game. They were all coming down on him.
How bad did it get? The NBA Hoop magazine would digitally alter his image, removing his diamond earrings, necklace, and tattoos. Critics also questioned Iverson's decision of keeping close ties with his friends from Virginia. You see, after making the NBA, Iverson did fulfill his promise to his friends from Newport News, traveling 24/7 with his entourage, living life to its fullest.
But every time I see him or hear something, he's got these 5 or 6 guys with him who like bad guys.
The critics included team officials and even his own mother, who alleged they were stealing from his bank account and would say, quote, "It's tough for him to tell his friends to take a hike." Speaking of the treatment, Allen Iverson's best friend, Rashawn Langford, would say, "I don't know why. Maybe it's our appearance. I guess I don't look like I'm supposed to look. It's not like we go around fighting." But none of this affected his on-court performance. Iverson was an enigma, even breaking Wilt Chamberlain's rookie record by scoring 40 points in 5 straight games.
Allen Iverson with 39 in the second half.
And also symbolically announcing his arrival with this famous crossover.
Iverson has Jordan. The crowd is into it. Allen shakes straight.
This historic season would earn Iverson the Rookie of the Year award.
He's the first Philly player to win the award.
Yet for the team, success was limited, as they would go 22-60, 2 games worse than the season prior. That offseason, the Sixers would fire their coach Johnny Davis and replace him with Larry Brown. Larry Brown and Allen Iverson would go on to have one of the most tumultuous relationships in NBA history.
Being so young, a lot of the rifts that we got into, 99% of them were my fault.
I wonder what your relationship would be with any employee that you might have who doesn't choose to come to work.
People made it seem like I didn't even come to practice.
He'd duck out an emergency exit during practice and scarf down some Taco Bell tacos. And that drove Brown crazy because to him, practice is this sacrosanct ritual.
But despite that, the team would seemingly improve every season, going 31-51 in their first season together and making the playoffs together in their second, making it all the way to the conference semifinals before being swept by Brown's former team, the Indiana Pacers.
See Larry Brown suffering.
The following 2000 NBA season, they would make it again to the semifinals, and again they would lose to the Pacers, this time in 6 games. Just like the way that Larry Brown placed a self-imposed ceiling on his former teams, is it possible that for the Sixers, their ceiling was merely a second-round team? Additionally, earlier that season, in November, after a blowout loss against Detroit, Iverson would tell the media,
"People don't like the way I play. They can just get me the hell out of here. They can trade me. I don't give a damn."
As Allen Iverson was saying this, Larry Brown was 5 feet away.
Thus, after another second-round exit, Brown would take Iverson up on his word, trading him, ironically, to the Detroit Pistons. When Iverson was informed, he would beg the Sixers for one last chance. "I'm gonna change. I'm gonna get married. I'm buying a big house. I'm ready to be a leader. I want to be a captain. I'm gonna be on time. I can do it."
So, summer 2000, they trade Iverson. It's a 4-team trade. Matt Geiger had a trade kicker.
But Geiger had a 15% kicker in his contract that he would have to agree to waive in order for the trade to go through.
And he's like, fuck you, I'm not doing that. So the trade falls apart.
The following season, Iverson would be on his best behavior, and with that came the results. He would be named the league's MVP, and also, like his coach, winning the All-Star Game MVP.
My coach, Coach Brown. Is he around? This is a tribute to Coach Brown.
Brown would also have a successful season, winning the NBA Coach of the Year. That playoffs, the Sixers would make it all the way to the finals, defeating along the way, finally, the Indiana Pacers.
How satisfying is this for your team? They knocked you out of the playoffs the last 2 years.
That's why it's satisfying, because, we kind of had a monkey off on our back, and it felt good to kind of get it off,
In the finals, the Sixers would be the only team to take a game from the Lakers, and of course, delivering us another signature moment.
Iverson. How about that? 7 steps over Tyronn Lue. 7 straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water.
After the season, AI would ride this momentum into the summer, continuing to fulfill the promises he made by marrying his high school sweetheart Twana Turner on August 3rd, 2001. Alongside him as the groomsman, the same group of friends, including Rashawn Langford, who would also vacation with Iverson for his honeymoon. However, 2 months later, when Iverson was at Sixers training camp, tragedy would strike. In the early morning hours of October 14th, 2001, Iverson's best friend, Rashawn Langford, would be murdered.
It was, if not the worst pain that I've been through in my life, losing somebody, it was right up there at the top.
From that day on, he would take responsibility of Langford's family, paying for the funeral, their car, their new home, and the schooling of his 3 children. On the court, the Sixers would take a step backwards, finishing as the 6th seed, drawing the Boston Celtics in round 1. At the exact same time the series was unfolding, the murder trial of Rashawn Langford was underway in Hampton, Virginia. The same prosecution team that once put Iverson behind bars was now prosecuting the man accused of killing his best friend. Addressing the jury, prosecutor Holly Cox said of Langford and his circle, "You may not like them, but you'll believe what they say." On the morning of May 3rd, 2002, Gregory Fox would be found guilty of second-degree murder in the shooting of Rashawn Langford. He would be sentenced to 43 years in prison. That same afternoon, Allen Iverson took the court for the deciding Game 5 of the first round against the Celtics. Despite a 31-point effort, the Celtics would blow out the Sixers by 33 points. Post-game, Iverson would skip the press conference, and Coach Larry Brown will publicly call him out once again.
The key player got to be there. He's got to be practicing. He's got to set the example, and he knows that.
And just like that, after a year of goodwill with the Sixers, it was all out the window. Trade rumors again swirled around the Sixers franchise player. 4 days later, Iverson would be called into a meeting with the Sixers front office. After a heated exchange, Larry Brown would assure him he would not be traded. Feeling relieved, Iverson would agree to hold a press conference later that day, his first media availability since the first round exit.
All I wanted to do was tell my fans basically that I wasn't going anywhere, because I had just had that meeting.
While Iverson thought this would finally give him a sense of stability and closure, what happened instead was the most infamous rant in NBA history.
So you and Coach Brown then settled the issue that he brought up on Saturday about practicing?
We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
No, we talking about practice, man.
How the hell can I make my teammates better by practicing?
Come on, guys. We're talking about practice.
We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
For Allen Iverson, he would never make it past the first round of the playoffs again, and his practice rant would in many ways come to define his legacy. For Larry Brown, he would resign from the Sixers in 2003, taking a job with the Detroit Pistons, leading them to a championship in his first season against the Lakers. When asked about the infamous rant, Brown would later explain that in the hours between their initial meeting and the press conference, Iverson had gone out drinking.
You just like me. You ain't no different. You just like me. You bleed just like I bleed. You cry just like I cry. You hurt just like I hurt.
But was the rant merely the incoherence of a drunk man? Or was there something deeper beneath the surface?
Just for 1 minute, stick your foot in my shoes and try to deal with what I go through in my life. My best friend, dead. Dead. And we lost.
Perhaps both. Or perhaps we could all just be a little more understanding.
I remember when all people could talk about is my friend and how they were bringing me down. And now I just wish he could be around for people to talk about him bringing me down.